Hi, my name is Markus Sablatnig. In this video, I'd like to show you how to use MarvelClient upgrades to perform fast, reliable and painless Nodes client upgrades. MarvelClient upgrade can move you from any client version and installation type to your target configuration in one go, while preserving user data and settings. The product is very flexible and can be tailored to your needs, while it still is intelligent and will adapt to whatever it finds on a given client. Let's see how it works. In this case, we have a Nodes 8.5 client installed as single user. Let's have a look how the installation is set up. We see it's in the Lotus Nodes directory with the data directory below it, a very unclean installation. We'd like to change that. Our target is a Nodes 9 client with Fixpack 5 and the connections plugin installed in the multi-user configuration. Let's change a few things in the user interface. This is to demonstrate that those changes are preserved after the upgrades. Let's also create a new database. And finally, also, let's create a bookmark. Okay, on this client, MC upgrade is set up in a way that it starts a minute after client start and prompts the user whether they want to perform the upgrade or not. This is called the deferral option because it gives the user the possibility to defer the upgrade, as you can see now with this dialog, for a maximum of 30 days or 10 tries. After that amount or time, whatever comes first, it will force the upgrade. This is of course configurable and entirely optional, so you can choose to just force the upgrade directly on the first go. Let's press yes to start the upgrade. The first step in an upgrade is what we call the graceful shutdown, because we need to shut down the client in a clean and normal way. We could just kill it, but then work would be lost. So after the countdown ends, which is there to give the user time to read the message, or the user clicks OK, that shutdown starts. As you can see, we have an unsaved document here, get prompted to save it, which we do. The shutdown progresses on its own, and after it's shut down, the uninstall starts. Uninstalling is the first step. We remove all files and directories, registry entries, and links on the Windows desktop, as well as in the Start menu. So you can see the uninstall is already finished. All the icons are gone, all the links in the Start menu are gone, and if we take a look on the disk, even the Lotus Nodes directory is already gone. Of course, before uninstalling, we have backed up the data and the settings. Let's look at the backed up settings. This is the backup set, which contains configuration information. Of special interest here is the Nodes INI. Of course, you want to take the Nodes INI with you from the old client to the new one because it contains user interface configuration, but it contains also entries that you don't want to take with you. For example, the directory, which points to the old Nodes data directory, which would be wrong in the new client. That's why we apply a filter here that filters out unwanted entries, and MarvelClient upgrade is smart enough to re-add the entries in the new client with the proper settings for that client. So with the path to the new data directory, for example. Also, while we're here, the progress bar dialog you see here is a system modal, meaning it's always on top, it can't be closed, and it's fully configurable. So you can decide what text to display, you can change the look and feel of it, you can change the company logo, for example, to keep corporate branding. While upgrade is running, let's take a look under the hood. Here we are in the temp directory that update uses to store itself, basically. The first three ones, those are the installation packages I have pre-deployed on this machine for this demonstration. In a real-world scenario, you'd use a software deployment solution to get them on the machine, some file deployment solution, or you'd use Smart Downloader, which is a component of MarvelClient Upgrade. More on that later in the video. But right now, let's look at Upgrade itself. Those are the components of Upgrade. They're automatically deployed here by MarvelClient itself. What's interesting here are the following two. First, the Upgrade INI. This is the configuration file that tells MarvelClient Upgrade what to do, how to do it, and what options to present to the user. It has two parts. One is the stub INI. This you configure centrally with the settings that are the same for everyone, that don't differ from machine to machine or user to user. And the other part are entries that are different on every machine, the dynamic parts. In this example, we'd see, for example, the nodes directory old, the old data directory. That one you can't set centrally because it's potentially different on every machine. It's automatically detected what it is and entered here. Another example would be the new directory. Here you would provide a template that says, please put it in the local app data directory with AWM nodes data behind it, and it's automatically resolved to that path and entered here. The second interesting component of MC Upgrade here is the surun-s. The current user, operating system user, is of course limited. He can't install or uninstall software, as usually would be configured in a corporate environment. So to do what Upgrade does, we need those privileges. That's where surun-s comes in. Surun-s is a script that we provide as part of MC Upgrade that your administrators will then customize with user and password that have the rights to install and uninstall software. It's then compiled and encrypted and part of the package that gets deployed. You can also add several user and password combinations that are tried through if you have several different users that, if the same machine doesn't have the same user all the time. As we can see now, we've already finished installing the client. We are now installing the fix pack. Let's have a look at the installed client for a moment. We can see it's now in the program files directory where it should be. And the data directory is in local application data for the current user. The current user is named PenAgenda, so please don't be confused by that. And here is the data directory. This data directory is not a new one, but has been migrated from the old installation into the new one. So all the users' local replicas are preserved. While we still have a minute, let's go into another small detail, Upgrade timing. With our current setup, we said 1 minute after client start. But that's not fixed. You can configure that as you like. For example, you can do it directly after client start. You can do it a minute or an hour later. You can do it at shutdown. Also, you can tie conditions to it. For example, don't do it on certain weekdays, or only do it if within our company network, so that the upgrade doesn't start while somebody's at the customer side, for example. Of course, this can also be limited with conditions, such as day of week or a certain date, or whether or not the user is within the company network. This is to prevent somebody from being at a customer with their machine and starting an upgrade there, which would be not ideal, of course. Another feature of MC Upgrade is, of course, reporting. That means after upgrade is finished, it will send via SMTP an email to a configured email address, which contains whether it worked or not, and has attached log files. Those are the log files of MarvelClient Upgrade itself, as well as log files, which are freely configurable again, of all the installers that you have performed. We can see now the fix pack is already done. Now we're only installing the plugins, and then we're done. Now the installation is finished. In this scenario, I've configured it to display a success message, which automatically gets closed after 10 seconds. And after that, it directly starts the newly installed Nodes client. As we can see here, it's a normal client start. The user doesn't have to configure anything. As is usual at the first start. Now the system databases get the new templates applied. We also apply the saved settings that we have backed up earlier. And as soon as the client is up, we can see all the user's data and settings are as they should be. Here we have the client. We see the changes we made to the user interface, like the bookmark, the moved icons, the change tab, everything is still here. The database we created still exists with the document that we had opened during shutdown, which was saved as it should be. Let's have a look. This is indeed Notes 901 Fixback 5, and the Connections plugin is installed as well. Finally, before we talked about deploying the install packages, you can use your own solutions for that, of course. All that MarvelClient upgrade needs is the path to the installers, but you can also use our integrated solution, the Smart Downloader. The Smart Downloader allows you to distribute a file to all your clients in a way that doesn't put too much strain on your network. Let's have a look how it's configured. Here you see the Smart File Download action. It allows you to distribute files to all your clients, or a selected subset of clients, of course. You can either download them from a file server or via HTTP or FTP, whatever works best in your environment. What makes it special, what makes it smart, is that you can specify bandwidth limits and time windows. The bandwidth limit, of course, helps you to prevent somebody from completely clogging your network while it's downloading. And the time window prevents everybody from doing things at the same time. It has two functions. One, in this case, for example, we say it's from 10 to 1600. This means in the morning when everybody logs on, they don't start to download large files and congest an already taxed network further. It also means that MarvelClient will spread out the downloads through the time period. So not all users start downloading at 10, but they spread out the downloads through those 6 hours. This means that you can roll out large files to all your clients in a way that is very gentle on the network and doesn't cause any trouble. In this video, we showed you how to use MarvelClient Upgrade to perform fast, reliable, and painless Notes client upgrades, including the rollout of the installers themselves. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.